Hey everyone, it's Jessica and I'm back with another video for you for the Mad About Mini Paper Pads series. And this one happens every third Saturday of the month, which is to use up all of those small paper pads that we all have. So I have chosen to do something with an older paper pad that I have by Tangerine from the late afternoon collection. And I start with this background with Distress Oxides, but then I end up going a completely different direction with it. And if you watch my videos often, you'll know that I am kind of dark at heart. So I usually resort to darks and blacks and wood grains, things like that, and dark patterned papers. And I start with this Distress Oxide layout with a lot of pinks because this collection has pinks in it, so I'm trying to pull that in with the purples and the pinks. But then once I get my cut file on there and I start backing it, it just doesn't go the way that I want it to go, and it doesn't look the way that I like. So I end up just scratching this whole background and set it aside, but I will use it for something else because I do really like it and I love the way that it turns out, but I don't use it for this layout. But I wanted to keep it in here just so that you see that things don't always go as we plan. You know, we sometimes we start out with an idea and then it's not working out, so you try something different and you might end up loving that. And then look at this here, because I've gotten two backgrounds now out of this layout, so it's fine, it works out in the end, but I just don't end up using that. So what I've done here is I cut this, I think it's called Scribble Hearts cut file by Pear Tree Cut Files. It's in the Valentine's Day bundle, I believe. I will link it below for you. I'll find it and link it. But I've cut it once in some white cardstock, and then I used the hide contours feature to cut it again in just some scrap green paper that I have there. And I cut it twice and I hid the contours in that because I wanted to use that to back the file with. I thought it would be easier than me actually drawing out and tracing around all the individual scribbles to back it. So this kind of did most of the work for me. All I had to do was cut them apart. So I just left it on my cutting mat and I just cut them apart with my X-Acto knife, but I was careful not to press too hard so that I didn't hurt my my cutting mat. So then all I'm doing here is I'm just trimming around the edge of the pattern that I've made and making one out of the pattern that I want to use. So I pulled a bunch of the pattern papers from that smaller paper pad from the late afternoon collection, and I'm just trying to use up a bunch of these. Some of them are scraps that I've used before, and others were full sheets. So I actually managed to use up quite a bit of this paper pad just by backing this cut file. So if you want to use a lot of these paper pads up, that's a really good way to do it, is to back your cut files with them. Especially a large cut file like this one. This one's pretty big. It covers pretty much the whole paper. So it took up quite a bit of those papers in the smaller pad to do this. So I'm just using my Nuvo glue just to adhere these. I'm not going to show you all of these because you get the idea. Again, all I did was I used the contour feature on my Cricut Design Space software, and then I just cut that back piece and I cut them apart to use as a pattern to cut them out of my pattern papers that I'm going to use. And then I just put my Nuvo glue on the squiggles there, and then I just stick them down from behind. Behind. That's not a word. Behind with a T. Behind. There. So here you can see this is where I decide to scratch that pink background and go dark with it. So back to my white splatters again. I'm going to add white splatters all over this, and then I'm going to add some more splatters in some Nuvo sparkle spray in Tender Peach. So I like those Nuvo sparkle sprays because they show up really well on dark paper. So they're really sparkly and shimmery, and they still show up, which is really great and exactly what I was looking for. It's hard to see on this camera, but I think you can see it there. So that's super easy. I didn't want to do much else to the background. I wanted to keep it mostly black, so that's why I didn't really do an awful lot to it. And you can see it just kind of peeks through, which is exactly what I was looking for. So I wanted my cut file to actually pop up off my page and have some dimensions. So what I've done here is I've pulled out my big, huge jumbo roll of 3D foam tape by Thermoweb, and I'm just using that across the entire back of the cut file. So I'm just cutting little strips down to fit on those hearts, and then I peel off the backing and stick it down here. So super easy. And then my photo, I decided with my scraps, I'm going to use some of these to back my photo some more and add some layers. So all I'm doing is kind of like trimming off the excess edges and using them where I can. So I'm just kind of staggering them around. So that one went on the bottom left and this one's going to go on the top right. And I'm just kind of picking a couple different patterns just that I have some leftovers from backing the file with, so I can use all of those up. So I did manage to use quite a lot of these papers, which was really fun. And then I'm just going to leave those layers as they are. I'm not gonna rough them up at all. It wasn't really the look that I was going for. Usually I distress the edges on mine, but I'm not doing that on this one. And then for my title, I have been favoring this pack of, I guess they're thickers by Vicki Boutin. And I am going to use this title that says The Small Things, because I feel like that's just perfect for this layout and pretty much sums it up, because she is little and tiny, and she's just a cutie and we love her so much. Sweet baby Onyx was born November 3rd, and if you followed my journey while I was pregnant, you know that I was hoping for a girl so bad, because I have 2 boys and we don't find out what we're having during any of our pregnancies, or my pregnancies I should say, and it's just, we like the surprise, so we don't find out. So when she came out, I was so excited that she came out a girl, but I would have been happy with a boy as well. I'm not gonna lie, boys are really fun too. So yeah, she came out a girl and we're super happy with her, and she's so sweet and just like the most well-behaved baby that I have had so far. She's just easy and fun, and she just is so good. So I'm very blessed with her. I'm just going to add some embellishments with this. Again, I'm pulling out from the Late Afternoon collection from Amy Tangerine, and I'm pulling out bits from that collection just to kind of use up, and then I'm also going to pull out some bits from her other collections as well. I think I use a couple things from this Vicki Boutin sheet again, and I might even pull in some Brave and Bold collection too. So we'll see here. So I'm gonna pop some music in here for a bit while I finish embellishing this, and I'll pop it again at the end because my voice is giving out, because yes, I am still sick. This has been going on for weeks now. So send me all the positive vibes that I can get better and get my voice back to normal. here is the finished layout. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and again, we do this series every third Saturday of the month, so feel free to pop in to the other contributors, which I'll list below, that are playing along, so you can check out their inspiration as well. And again, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye bye.